Dear Melanin Queens, crack is whack. Now, we've all heard of the word creamy crack, aka a perm, aka relaxer, aka sodium hydroxide. And we all know that that is a chemical that can cause scalp burns, chemical scalp burns, and can damage your scalp and can damage your hair. Um, Yet, a lot of women are still using creamy crack on their hair. Why? Look, women, ladies, black women, we have to get away from the creamy crack. I know that we all want super straight edges. We want super sleek hair at sometimes. We want it to be laid back. We want our hair to be super fine and super sleek. But why do you want that when we have our big full head of curls that is beautiful and bountiful, and it's just as beautiful as a straight hairstyle? You don't want to go through all of that drama just to manipulate your hair to do something that it's not naturally designed to do. And besides you trying to look more European, it's also damaging to your scalp and like physically like damaging to your skin. That can burn through your skin. And not only does it cause chemical burns to your scalp, but it's also been said that it's a possibility that it can cause cancer. Nobody wants cancer. Nobody wants chemical scalp burns. Nobody wants broken, damaged hair. So let's try to move away from the creamy crack, because that stuff is no joke. That stuff is no joke. We've all seen the movie Good Hair, where Chris Rock exposed the hair care industry and the relaxers, the people who make the relaxers. So when it comes to the creamy crack, the thing about that is it's addicting. It can be addictive. Creamy crack, hence crack, it could be addictive like a narcotic. It can be very addicting because, you know, everyone is just so used to the look and the feel of having straight hair. That's just, you know, some women, that's what they grew up with. Some women never had a choice as to whether they want to wear their hair straight or natural. Their mothers probably permed their hair when they were little girls. I know for me, when I wanted to get a perm when I was growing up, I begged my mom for a perm because my sister was getting one for her birthday. My mom would wear her hair in a perm. She had a perm. And so I begged my mom for a perm because all my friends at school had a perm. Their hair was straight and sleek and they can put it in a ponytail, and my hair was like big and poofy, and I had to use a brush just to put it in a ponytail and do a lot of work. And I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't happy with myself. A young teenager still trying to find my identity, basically. So I begged my mom for a perm, and she finally gave in. She didn't want to give me no perm at first because my cousin, she got a perm when she was a little girl, and her hair broke off and it fell out. So it took a while for my mom to give us the perms. I think I was about 12 years old when I got my first perm. But I finally got a perm, and I was so happy. I was oh so over the moon. I was so happy that I had my perm, hunty. You could not tell me nothing. Nothing, honey. You couldn't tell me nothing. I would brush my hair with a brush. I mean, I wouldn't have to brush my hair with a brush. I could just go like this with my fingers and slick it back. And all I wanted to do was put it in a ponytail, a sleek ponytail. And just so it could be flat and smooth. That's all I wanted. I didn't want no curls. I didn't want no bob cut. The bob cut was in that at the time. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted a ponytail. So, and fortunately, my hair didn't break off. It didn't. I did get scalp burns and chemical burns, but my hair was breaking. It was like brittle at the ends. That's the one thing that I did remember. but it didn't break, it didn't like fall out or anything like that. I didn't have any like patches of hair falling out or anything, any crazy stories that I hear, like, you know, with Salt and Pepper, like, you know, her asymmetrical cut because half of her hair was seared off and all that. Nothing like that. But I did experience those chemical burns. A lot of women are still getting relaxers. And the thing about it is, that's one reason why a lot of people have gone natural, because we have been used to damaging our hair and our scalp with the relaxers, and women no longer want to do that. There's got to be a better way to straighten your hair, first of all, if you want to wear it straight. And you don't want to damage your skin and your scalp like that with chemical burns. So a lot of women have gone natural and transitioned from straight hairstyles to their naturally curly hair and explored it that way. But there's still women who wear their hair straight. They prefer to wear their hair straight. And that's, it stems, of course, from another root of another problem. And I was listening to someone speak. I believe it was Oprah. Oprah was speaking at a commencement. And she was saying, you have to be yourself. You cannot go around trying to be a copy of someone else. Because in this world, you're supposed to work to strive to be the higher, better, your higher, better self. That's what you're in this world to do, not to replicate someone else or duplicate someone else. You're here in this world to be your better self, to be your best self. And so let's strive to be our best selves, not trying to be like someone else, like with this straight hairstyle, these European styles that we like, which I see all the time. And it's like so annoying, because it's like, well, black women are beautiful. We are so beautiful with straight hair, curly hair, whatever style we wear. We're beautiful. You are beautiful black women, whether you decide to wear wigs, weaves, natural hair, whatever. But it's very disheartening to see that women don't value themselves enough to just love themselves and appreciate their natural hair and wear it on a regular basis. You know, we constantly see these women with European hairstyles, and it makes us want to have those hairstyles all the time. It makes us want to be that it girl with the long weave, like in the designer bag, you know, taking trips here and there and eating good meals and all that fabulous stuff that we see on Instagram and social media and television and in music videos. We want to be that fabulous it girl. We want to be beautiful. We want to be loved. We want to be admired. And we see that, you know, the woman with the straight hair and the nails and the makeup every day, just, you know, face beat, and, you know, the big stallion booty that's in now. And the banging body, all that stuff is just well put together. Everything is so put together. And one of the things that that woman has is the straight hairstyles. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, dang, I wanna have straight hair. I wanna put on a wig. Not really, not really. I don't wanna put on a wig. If you do find yourself comparing yourself to other people, just know that you were created uniquely in this world to be who you are. So you have to stand out and stand up and be who you are, and not look to someone else to emulate. You have value, you have worth, you're worthy, and you're enough. So don't go try to emulate someone else and be someone else, because we're missing that person that's supposed to be represented through you. You're supposed to represent yourself. Be yourself. The world needs that. And like Oprah was saying, you know, you strive to be your higher self or your best self. And that's all you really need to work on, is focusing on you and who you are and learning more about yourself. Yes, but comparison kills. So don't compare. Don't look at somebody else and try to be somebody else, because that's just not who you are. Okay, black women, melanin queens, we are who we are. We have naturally curly hair, thick fluffy hair, and it, you know, grows up. It doesn't fall down and flat and straight. And even though we want that, sometimes we see how women, European women, they swing their hair, or it just flows naturally or whatever. We see that and we want that. But what we have is strong and powerful. Our hair makes a statement. It stands up and defies gravity. It's just it stands tall and proud, just like us as a people. Like, that's what we need to start doing, standing up tall and proud and representing who we are. Like, our hair is saying enough, but we're like walking around like, little insecure little people, like looking for approval and trying to find, ourselves and our identity in all these other people, and not really realizing who we are as a people. We have to realize that what we have is enough, because the world is telling us that we're not worthy. When we look around, we see that, sometimes in our neighborhoods where we don't have the best services, we don't have the best resources, and we see that, in the United States of America, sometimes the government just gives us whatever handout or nothing at all. And, we see a lot of poverty, we see a lot of, negativity, we see a lot of violence in our neighborhoods. I mean, black people, we see a lot of things that tell us that we're not worthy, or we're not worth it. We're not worth anything. We see that a lot of times, but you have to understand that that's not so. That is not true. That we are worthy. We are worth a lot. We are valuable people. We have to start believing that and seeing that and knowing that. You know that by showing it. If you walk around, like I said, constantly looking for approval, trying to find your identity, not knowing who you are, then people are going to treat you that way. People are going to treat you like somebody who's lost and confused and has no idea who they are. But when you know who you are, when you stand up for yourself, when you represent who you are, then you walk with your head up and you walk with pride. And nobody can sit up here and tell you that you're nothing and you're not worthy, because you know who you are. So it's time that we know who we are and get to know who we are. It's time that we stand up and say that I'm not going to conform to the white standard of beauty. I'm going to be a beautiful black woman unapologetically.